We live, eh? And we are officially live. Welcome everyone to the Punishers KO 2022 Duo Semi-Finals number 1. We are joined here by myself, Devold, and my co-caster, Mandra. What is up, Mandra?
What's
What's
up?
up?
What's up?
We are
We are
obviously
obviously the two worst players in the
Devold
league, but
and
we
my
always
co-caster,
with a good
Mandra.
idea.
What is up, Mandra?
What's
What's
up?
up?
We are obviously the two worst players in the
Can you hear
league,
me from now?
but
And
we always
my co-caster,
with a good
Mandra.
idea.
What is up, Mandra?
What's
What's
up?
up?
We are obviously the two worst players in the
Can you hear me
league,
from now?
but
And
we always
my co-caster,
with a good
Mandra.
idea.
Yes, I think we're good now. Can you hear me? Perfect. Yes, perfect. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the stream. We are super excited. This is me and Mandra's first time casting in a very long time. So please bear with us. We are going to try and make it as entertaining and as unprofessional as possible. So I'm very excited for today, Mandra. The first question I have though is I don't care who's winning today, if I'm being real
Who
professional.
do you think is going to come last today?
So I'm very excited for today, Mandra. The first question I have though is I don't care who's winning today, if I'm being real
Who
professional.
do you think is going to come last today?
Ripsy and Crispy, you think? If I have to be real honest, my money is 1000% on them as well. But we'll see where the day takes us, of course. We do need to talk about a lot of things regarding the whole tournament today, like the prize pool, like some extra incentives for the people winning or getting victory royales today as well. So that is something that that I'm excited to look at. But this is the first big duo tournament of the year, which I'm very excited for as well. And I'm excited to see what this year holds and what Punishers can bring to the scene this year as well. I think there is definitely, most definitely, but I'd say Punishers has a couple of things in their back pocket for the rest of the year, and I'm very excited for it. The one thing I am not excited to see though is the SMG meta for or in today's tournament. Me myself, I try to play competitive, and this meta is just it's just not for me. So I'm excited to see and not excited to see how other people use this new meta in the first big tournament of the year. But if we are looking at the prize pool that you guys can see on the screen right now, there is a total of 500 Rand prize pool today in the semi-finals. It is 100 Rand per victory royale. So there is some money up for grabs today, even though this is only a semi-finals. So that is something we can look forward to.
Some people are eating Big Macs tonight. Jeez,
Yes.
100 Rand per win. What the hell? Is this the first time I've seen a prize pool for a victory royale in the Zericom?
I think this is not the first time, but definitely the Big Mac prize pools are coming through today. People are going to be eating nice tonight if they do push through and they get the victory royales.
Well, I'm sure some people are not going to be getting victory royales. We won't say who, but I think we know who we're talking about.
Most definitely. The first game should be going underway in the next 1 to 2 minutes, if I'm correct. The code has been dispatched. If I have my story at the moment, so we'll start right now. The next game will be in around every 30 minutes a game. So we have a action-packed night full of really good gameplay. Unless we watch Reepsy and Crispy, then the gameplay is going to decrease, of course, but it's fine. Other than that, I'm really excited for the night and looking to see some top tier gameplay from all of the players that are participating today.
If you are on console playing in this tournament, I apologize from now.
I think before we start the game, we need to show the people what we're wearing. If I'm correct, Manja.
Sorry. Yeah, let's go. I think.
I mean, I think
today, bro.
I do have my shorts on. Please, everyone, do not think anything
Yeah,
else. But
we
are
do have
out,
shorts on. Yeah.
and I think we look pretty sexy.
We look snazzy today, bro.
If I'm being honest. So
Look at the bus.
we are definitely dressed to impress. That is what we have to see.
I mean, we are the only impressive people on the stream today. Not going to talk about the gameplay, but anyway.
1,000%. 1,000%.
As we get it. Let's go.
Okay. Gabe. Okay, Manja, can you hear me twice as well?
Yes, I can hear you twice as well.
Okay.
It's something we just have to adjust to it. If you all can hear us twice as well, I'm not sorry.
That is unfortunate. I mean, it's double of. Let me not say what I want to say, but we move very good. Thank you, Smek. Thank you. We'll go through the chat as we go. Manja. For the people that are watching, listening, wherever you're watching this from. Costed in a fair while, so please bear with us, everyone. And it is still going to be interesting. We're going to try and make it as entertaining as possible.
We are currently spectating Altus and Mick. As you can see from their arena points, they definitely have no life. 22,000 arena points. Damn, how long do you spend playing this game? And if you don't win this tournament, there's something wrong with you.
Most definitely. Manja, let's quickly see if we mute in Discord how it sounds. Just 2 seconds. Let's see. Can you hear me? Hello? Perfect.
Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Perfect. Okay, let's this works.
Oh,
this works a bit better.
Yeah,
okay, so we're starting off with Altus and Mick Stixx. I think he is a. I've been seeing Mick Stixx recently in a couple of tournaments. He's been one of the up and coming players, so I'm excited to see what him and Altus can do today. I don't know who we are spectating from these two, but he has 22,000 arena points. It does not seem like they have touched grass this season, but it's okay. They are grinding most definitely.
They're only touching grass in Fortnite, dude.
They are getting contested. We see Altus picking up 2 green ranges, which is not the best. RNG does get a green striker. They need to try and get heals and get together as soon as possible, and then try and get the Spider-Man. That is one of the main things that you do want when you are landing at the Bugle. And let's see if they are going to take a fight early on, and let's see if they're going to come out victorious.
He does get that SMG though. SMG, irrespective of whatever variant it is overpowered. And if I'm not mistaken, they did try and nerf it, but from what we see on Twitter, I don't think it actually happened.
I saw the nerf or the apparent nerf, and they did the damage drop off by 1 each, or by 1 damage per hit, and I don't consider that a nerf. That is like a tickle, changing it. That is like changing it to a tickle, but it's fine. We move on. We see they are trying to take this fight very slow. Altus trying to get up to the high ground, hitting the player 22. Does as long as they can play distance with this fight, they cannot go into a bull battle at all. They do not have materials at all. Altus does get a knock. Very well played by Altus.
That SMG spray. The SMG spray. Holy. Oh,
and there you have it. Their little emote from Altus and Mick Stixx. They will be keeping it toxic for the rest of the night, of course. Jeez. And they do clear up the first people there at Bugle, and now we are watching Gloves and Ace, if I'm correct, which they did Lanchonka Speedway. This is a very, very OP drop in duos because there is a ridiculous amount of splashes. We will see when they do rotate out of chonkers how many splashes they have, but this is a very, very OP drop for especially on the heel side.
I mean, Not only the splashes, look at the consumables that Gloves is carrying, man. There's like, holy, he's set for the whole game.
Most definitely. This is a duo that I'm curious to see more about. I'm excited to see them in the late game, how they do work together. Gloves has been a professional Valorant player recently, so let's hope he's been practicing for this tournament. And same goes for Ace, I guess. Let's hope they can pull it through, show us what they got in the end game.
Well, if Klaus became a professional Valorant player, if he's not hitting all headshots, then I mean, why are you still playing Valorant, bro?
Quite literally picking up on more splashes. This drop looks a bit too overpowered, if I have to be honest. But the zone is starting. The first zone it did pull, I think, northeast, if I'm correct. But I'm excited to see where. Okay, we see the emote coming from. I think it is Goliath, Travis, or Rejects.
So
they
are currently watching The Fisherman and Jay Smug's boyfriend. Damn.
That is correct. That is correct. Oh, I'm on the screen. Hi, everybody. Smexy Rexy coming in with the $1 donation. Smexy, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it.
Rexy, you a sexy bitch, bro. Jeez. Predictions for Rejects and Target.
Predictions. I of course see them doing quite well. The previous duo tournament, I'm not sure if they came in the top 5. I could be mistaken. But I have high hopes for them today, most definitely. Unlike the people we are watching right now, Reepsy and Crispy. I'm surprised they have not. I'm surprised they have not, died or been eliminated yet.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they did get a kill, so I'm just assuming it was some random bot or someone that came out 25th in qualifiers. Like, it was lucky kills.
I mean, they look like they are set. Reevesy, it does not look really set on ammo though. That is one thing. They do have some peppers. He's chucking one pepper towards Crispy. They're going to try and fulfill their loot path, get the Spider-Man, which is very crucial in rotating in the new season with the new meta.
OP for evading storm. That's the one thing. Like, no matter how far you are, you can always move. You can always be faster than Storm with a Spider-Man now.
I mean, no, it is something that I feel is a bit overpowered, but it is very useful if you have it. So if you have it, I would not have any complaints. But the real complaint start is when you are very unlucky with the spawns and you didn't find one of them, because then everyone has that free mobility, and it's not 1, 2, 3 rotations. It is multiple. It is ridiculous. So it is very crucial.
They do also have a disadvantage. Yeah? That one disadvantage is if you're high enough and they shoot you down, then it's cut.
That is also true. And one thing that has become a possibility is if you do have the Spider-Man, if you do have it going into the late game, if you are taking high ground, if you're going for the high ground, you can technically never die to full damage if there's anything close to you where you can Spider-Man towards. And I feel that is also a very important aspect to look at. But I'm excited to see how the first game goes. And Mandra, do you have any predictions on who's going to take the first game?
Oh, the first game. I'd say it'll be between the 3 that we have currently seen. I'm gonna give. You know what? We'll give Reefsy and Crispy the benefit of the doubt for once. They got lucky, but we give them the benefit of the doubt. They can take it. Altus has been playing quite well recently as well. So Altus' team is one of them. Gloves, and obviously we have to put Rejects and Travis there because, I mean, if we don't, they'll probably just swear us on Twitter.
I mean, that is a factual statement. That is a factual statement right there. So we see Gloves and Ace finally deciding to rotate out of Chunker Speedway. Zone did not pull the absolute best for them, but they did get a car, and it looks like they are vibing.
It does look like a lot of kills have happened before this first one because there's only 52 people alive. So I'm sure people are much more happy that there won't be Storm Surge in this game. Unless people do not die.
I doubt there'll be any Storm Surge this game. I think it is unlikely. But we never see the Zedecom never fails to surprise us in one way or another. So let's see what this tournament has in stake for us.
That is true. But let's see. Let's see if. But you know what? The main thing is let's see if we have GGs or let's see if we have Twitter beef by the end of today.
Let's hope not.
Let's,
let's genuinely hope we don't have any beef by the end of today. But that is something we're gonna have to wait.
We have currently Aviva on our screen, and Skylar is mommy. Who Skylar is mommy?
Mandra, your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea, but Aviva them seem to be chilling. They have really good loot. They are nearly max materials, and they seem to be in a very decent position. They both do have Spider-Mans as well, as we talked about. That very crucial and very important to have this going in towards the end game. And they are making a clean rotation, trying to set them up and get them in a good position for the late game.
They do have llamas. Oh, Martina and Potasha are in a fight right now. Who are they fighting again? Oh, one crack. Oh. He's one shot. Jeez, GG. Who are they fighting again?
Putash. I have no idea, but Putash does clean them both up. I'm not sure if that was a 1v1 or 1v2 situation, but he is going to go and get Mateen's card. He did clutch up for them. They have a ridiculous amount of loot laying here. He needs to get Mateen up as soon as possible so they can make the best out of this game. But that was the first fight that was the first fight we have spectated since the Altus and Mick Stixx battle in the Daily Bugle. So hopefully we don't see any more fights now up until we're going into endgame, because that is of course what we want to see is the stacked endgames, everyone going head to head.
So as Tristan says, Skylar is mommy is Ethan Zede, and as you can see, Ethan, you are a simp. So yeah.
The simps in this community will never fail to surprise me. I was once in my day, back in the day, I was also one of them. But there's information we won't talk about and we will not share today on the stream.
Dude, simping is healthy at times, bro. At times.
At times, that was a factual statement. And we don't have a lot of action going on. Go for it.
Okay, Ethan, relax. Jeez. These guys, I tell you. What's this? Is there anybody else currently broadcasting?
It is Reefsy and Crispy looking that they are an encounter. Reefsy does hit the opposing player with a couple of nice SMG shots. He's trying to hop in. Does hit him with 24.
They are in a fight with Aviva and Ethan, I think. From the skins that I can see.
Reefsy and Crispy doing the absolute most with the SMGs and the MKs, clearing up that elimination, but the loot did fall into another team's box, or close to another team's box. It looks like they're gonna
why
these players as well. They have no filter. They're gonna go for this loot, and then we might see another big WP from Reefsy and Crispy, securing those eliminations.
Reefsy them said, nah, today we're not waiting. We are going to push. We're going to make sure we call for that final.
There's no doubt.
I think
there's no doubt that they won't. I have 100% faith in them. They are really, really good players and individual players as well. And they are just showing a lot of aggressiveness and dominance in this lobby, which is something that we love to see.
You wouldn't expect it, huh? You wouldn't expect it from Reefsy and Crispy. I mean, Reefsy is like a passive. I would say he's a more passive fighter. I think Crispy, just because he got controller, that's why the aim is so good.
Of course, but one thing that I have realized is if you do play with an aggressive player and a more aggressive player than you personally are, you start playing like them. You play a lot more confident, and you just take fights in a lot better way. We see
Ooh, it looks like
Gloves
Gloves
and
and
Ace spraying at.
I think they
at
focus
Reef.
you. Ooh, there we go. Come on, push! Jeez. This guy's just waiting around doing nothing. Push! Oh,
No trades coming.
Big ball
No
move.
trades coming off from either sides as of yet. But they both still have a fair way to rotate towards the next zone, and that is what Gloves and Ace decide to do. They don't want to take this fight. They want to get themselves in a good position, and set them up for the end game. Let's hope Crispy and Reevesy can also rotate, get their way to the zone.
The end game is really what matters, because at the end of it, the team that comes out first has the most bragging rights.
And that is the thing that we
All about
love. Who cares about the cash? It's all about the bragging rights. I won this tournament. I won that tournament. I killed this player. I killed that player. That is all that really matters if we're being 100% honest.
If we're being honest. We were with Altus and Mick. Oh, okay. So Altus, oh yeah, they did get a kill. They did clutch out. They did, win their fight off spawn, if I'm not mistaken.
And they haven't had any encounters as of yet since they off spawn fight at the Daily Bugle. Manja didn't take part because it'd be too easy. That is correct, Rexy. If me and Manja had to play, all of these players in the lobby would I don't know. We're just giving them a shot, if you know what I'm saying. We don't want to take all the glory and the
if you think about it, who are these players like? Who are they? Like, who's Altus? Bro, we have no clue what you're talking about. What is your name?
Yeah, I have no idea who any of these players are. We are just on a completely different level, if I'm being honest. But it's fine. We won't speak about that. As I said, we aren't playing, so we're just giving all the other players a shot for once. And I feel that's very nice and very kind of us to be doing something like that.
Yeah, we're just nice people. Let's be honest. We're just nice people. I mean, the rest of these guys, you have to give them change at sometimes. That's why the 500 rand that's being sponsored is coming out from mine and Devil's pocket.
Of
I know
course,
we weren't allowed to say that, but
we weren't allowed to say that, but we want to make sure everyone eats some Mackie D's tonight, gets a Big Mac or two if they do end up winning a game. And it is definitely coming out of me and Manja's pockets, 1000%. A factual statement.
Factual. It's only facts. Whatever's happening is only because of us. I mean,
Exactly.
Oh, we're gonna get screwed, right?
Yes, we are. You're 100% correct. But we are looking at some new players. Actually, Manja. Actually, no. Arrow just switched off us. Back at Gloves and Ace, and they are actually in a fight. Let's see if they can come out victorious here. He does get the full piece on him. He hits him with 64. What can Gloves and Ace do here? They are nearly fully pieced. They need to try and get themselves in a better position. And he does end up getting knocked. Gets hit for 190.
They're up against Mateen and Potassium, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think Mateen took out Ace. Oh my god, okay, that's Gloves and Ace out of it. Jeez, Mateen and Potassium won't playing around.
The team that was shambles a couple minutes ago ended up taking out Gloves and Ace. That is very unfortunate for them. They're going to have to be sitting in the lobby, or they will be watching the stream in a couple of minutes. They can come and enjoy our presence. But very well played by Mateen and Potash. They played very aggressive. They didn't hold back, and they ended up being victorious in that fight.
I feel like this is a real confidence booster, especially if Gloves and Ace weren't on anonymous mode. I feel this is a real confidence booster to think like, okay, we took out one of the front runners. Now this is ours, basically. We can go for it. We can go for it full out completely.
I mean, of course, it's like it's literally just a confidence and an ego booster when you take out a really good team. It just sets you up for the rest of the game. Of course, you have even better loot, and you just feel more aggressive going in and taking any fight that comes your way.
Yeah, and now if you look at it, now that Glove and Ace are out, so the front runners, I would say, we don't even know whether Rejects and Travis is still alive. Though.
I mean,
But I mean, currently looks like
we will
Rejects
see soon. Reeps and Crispy are in a really decent position. They did nearly pull zone. This is where it all counts. So the players are going to rotate first, set them up in a good position. Maybe whoever's going to claim the high ground and who can look back at opposite and just start spraying, because you'll be hearing this SMGs and the MKs are going to be going nuts within the next minute, and it is going to sound absolutely hectic in this end game.
Oh, I just want to. Oh my god! I think my sound go. Sorry.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, no, I am very soft, guys. Sorry, chat. We're working on it. But yeah, is Reepsy and Travis, is Rejects and Travis still alive? If they are, I mean, you know what? We might have a put up a good fight here, and I mean, 35 people alive, so that's quite a bit. Oh, so they're going for a
Yes, and the end game is officially starting. I wonder when Reepsy and Chris are going to decide to rotate. I don't know if they're going to pad or use Spider-Man. We're going to see soon enough. They need to get themselves into a good position. Reepsy and Crispy decide to go for the Spider-Man. Let's hope they do not get beamed.
Yeah, they chose the right mode. So they don't get focused on either low ground or high ground. Like, rather than going for height and taking the rest, they did play well with mud. I think it'll be a much more easier rotation, especially using launch pads and stuff like that. They can try to go for the height late game, or even using the Spider-Man as well.
Yes, of course. You never go for height too early, because you will get focused or you'll put yourself just in an overall bad position in general. Reef 7 are looking to get a secure, maybe a knock or elimination on another side. Look at the 60 Mandra popping up on our screen there, giving everyone a little preview. Reef and Crispy are looking like they do want to take another fight. The zone did not pull the absolute best for them, but they do still have a launch pad and their Spider-Man and a lot of heals. They seem to be in a very decent position.
If they decide to use a late rotation on this one, considering that the rotation is a bit scuffed with the bridge and the fact that they have to go over late as well. Oh, and we do storm cells, by the way. They can decide to do a late rotation with the launch pad. I'm sure they can actually push for height in this one.
I think that is why they are deciding to pad so late. They might be looking at the high ground right now.
Ah, there we go. They're going for the height left.
Reepsy drops down, takes 44 damage, but it's not going to stop him from going up. Gets an absolute beam on the opposing height player. They need to try and clear this fight up as quickly as possible so they can secure the high ground, and they did. We've officially seen it, Manjot. They are dropping to get on a bit of a layer. But they did get sprayed out.
Down. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, somebody else has taken height now. So we've seen them are going to have to play on the mid again. So it was a good play. I don't think they got the kill for that person. They didn't even get the knock.
They went for it, and that's all that matters. They're all going to Spider-Man to get themselves in a better position going into the final zones. We are spectating Altus and Stixx right now. Altus getting himself caught in zone. There's a player right in front of him. He hits him with the young crack. Goes maybe for the pull piece. No, he does not. Stixx does not have the most of health. They need to try and regroup, and they did. He does get knocked. I think the best is to leave his teammate and to try and get the most placement out of the rest of this game. They do lose one of their players.
CK is playing in this as well. CK just got if I'm not mistaken, CK just got a duo wipe. He just wiped out a full duo.
Well, that is what we like to see from CK. Hopefully, Altus can push it through.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
Okay, now we are looking
Oh,
at
we got
Ethan.
Ethan.
Aviva did get eliminated. Aviva trying to make the most out of this endgame. He does not have the most materials left. Only wood, no hard mats. He does still have a Spider-Man though, which he can use, and that could fall in his favor. Trying to reform some materials. There's only 8 other players left, and I'm thinking there is a couple of solos. So who is going to come out victorious? We're going to see in the next 2 zones. He goes for
He's
full piece
playing
on
a
another
dangerous
player. He
game.
doesn't
He's
get the
alone and he
lead.
gets it. Oh, someone stole the kill from him.
And he does get eliminated. Very unfortunate. But they did come out in the top 5 position. We can unfortunately not see who we are spectating because they do have anonymous mode on. I don't think we have any more perspectives left. We do not have any more perspectives left. I'm really excited to see who actually won that first game, Mandra. But what an absolute saucer of a first game! Seeing some underrated teams or some not as well known players wiping out tier one teams, tier one players, and just the all over. I'd call it a very good first game.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And if you look at it, right, I mean, credits to Viva and Ethan for sticking into the late game so late, because placement points when you don't get kills can really help you way more if you look at it. Like the
It
placement
is
points that they must have got has definitely put them in the top 5 currently.
most definitely placement is crucial at the end of the day. It does overrule the kill points by a ton. So we'll be looking at the scoreboard really soon, and then we'll hop into the next game as well in a couple of minutes.
I'm looking forward to it. Reepsy, Crispy, stay alive for once, please.
Let's hope. Let's hope they can.
Well, I mean, so yeah,
And we are back from the break after game one. We are going to be looking at the leaderboard really soon. But Mandra, what did you think of the first game?
Well, the first game was actually insane. Well, GG's to all that obviously cared. Obviously won to all the guys that didn't make it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
very unfortunate for them. We are gonna be looking at the leaderboard soon, but I was very pleased and very happy with the first game's results. As we can see, Spooky and CK taking the victory out in the first game. Very happy for Spooky and CK. Um, and then we have Moog. I am not familiar with that is, but they did come. They did come second that game. So two shots to them. And then third is
we have
Altus and Mixtix.
Altus and Mixtix. That's a good one. That shows that their kills also have counted quite a bit. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Altus and Mixtix still did fall short a bit earlier, but they
I
did
think
have a lot of kills.
I think they did get eliminated around fifth place, but then we have
Mm.
Mateen and Patash that we saw that really entertaining fight with between them Gloves and Ace, and that set them up for the end game. So they are in fifth, and then we have Aviva and Ethan in sixth place as well. Also Punishers showing the true colors, so they're also doing really well. And then seventh we have Arjan and Venom. We also spectated them a bit early, but we did not see any gameplay from them in the end game. And then Reepsy and Crispy in eighth. So hopefully they can start bringing it back, maybe get and edge their way closer into the top five. And then ninth we have Legacy and Cars, and tenth we have Dane and Piv. So let's see if these players can keep it up and hold their spots in the top 10, and maybe even work themselves up towards the top three.
If you look at it, we did even start the games. We did even start the game. If I'm not mistaken, there were 60 people in the first game, and that shows that there will be to come out in the top 25 in order to qualify for the finals would be quite easy for some of the
Would be
judges.
quite easy, of course,
So
but if you are not within the top 25, that would be that would be very unfortunate. But let's not looking at that. So the schedule further on for the day, we are going to be going into the second game right now. The third game will be 20 past 6. The fourth game will be 5 to 7, and then the final game will be at 7:30. So if you guys need to go do something, you maybe have to go get some food, maybe have to go wash your mother's car, whatever the case might be. You guys know when the times for the next games, or even the last game will be, if you want to come tune in for the last one. And then do not forget, once again, the prize pool for today in the semi-final is 500 rand, 100 rand per victory royale. So that is what the people are playing for. If you can take home 2 or 3 victory royales, that is a couple of Big Macs. So that is quite sharp, and let's hope the players can keep on showing us what they have, and keep playing for the Vic Roys.
not to forget, this whole tournament is brought to you by the Punishers. Everything from the start to the finish, thanks to Punishers, thanks to hosted by Elite Pro Series. If you do want to see and follow their socials, you can click the links in the description. It'll take you to everything. And all I say is GG, enjoy the games, and you know what? Let's go into game 2.
I'm very excited, mind. I'm very excited, and once again, huge shout out to Punishers and Elite Pro Series, and for giving us the opportunity to cast today. So we are underway in game number 2. People, we are all watching Gloves and Ace. We're getting the young emote from Gloves. Hopefully, they do not get wiped as quickly as they did last game by Mateen and Pratash, but we'll see what they have in store for us later this game. This game also started with over 60 players, and that's something I wanted to talk about. The last game and this game started with 62 players, and we ended up having some storm surge. So that means that people are really playing for that end game. People are playing for the placements, and let's hope we can get another storm surge game and another stacker of an end game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, just looking at the start of it, I think people did try to contest Ace and Glove because Ace, if I'm not mistaken, has a kill. So I'm sure the duo that they did eliminate, his partner must have vanished, because
So that
you're
could
gonna
be a
need
little
that
bit
base
of
support.
a that could be a little bit of a confidence booster for them because their first game did not go so well, but I'm 100% certain we are gonna see Gloves and Ace within the top five this game. They are looking for their revenge. Um, and what are the chances they run into Potash and Mateen again? That would be quite interesting. It'll be a little bit of a revenge battle, but we
Why
shall
do I feel
see.
like they are going to run into them? They are going to run into them, no matter what. We know how things
Okay.
work out. They will run into them.
I mean, for technically for Gloves and Ace, I wouldn't hope so because Mateen and Putash are seeming to play really well and they seemed really aggressive and really confident. So maybe if they take the fight again, it would have a different outcome. But that is something we're gonna have to see later on in this game if that encounter does happen. We're moving
Ooh,
over
and we got
to Goliath
Travis.
Rejects and Goliath Travis, the Riftman and Jay's Merc's boyfriend. That is absolutely amazing. Um,
Lucky
if I'm
guy.
mistaken, we did not see them on the leaderboard in the top 10. Or am I incorrect? Am I
No,
incorrect,
you're right, because
Amanda?
they weren't there. They weren't there in the top 10, which means to say that the last time we did see them was the last time we saw them in that actual game. Which
I
is
just
probably
actually
due
got
to rotation.
informed. I just got informed that they did die early in the first game, so that's why we didn't see them. So we had some of our money on them, and they disappointed us. So my money is definitely not on them for this game. I apologize to anyone that
Yeah, we changed the bet.
that does want
I
them
changed
to
the bet,
win,
changed the
but
bet, right? We changed the bet.
yeah, they didn't show us a good first game. Not asserting their dominance like they should.
I mean, there's always the other 4 games that they can bring back. I mean, remember, if I'm not mistaken, in the qualifiers, Neymar and Woke did win 3 games out of the 4. So, I mean, they could win the next 4 games. You might never know.
Exactly. It is, as I said, at this stage of a tournament, it is any man's game. Regardless if people got a 20 kill first game, your next game, you could die of spawn. You can get into an unlucky mid game fight and maybe get eliminated. So in the first 2 games, it is still anyone's game. It is in the final 2 games, I feel that is where we start edging towards. We can see who might take it, who might get into the top 3, and they are not out of the game as of yet. So let's hope they can push it through and maybe secure victory.
Here we are with Reeksy and Crispy, who seem to have won their off-spawn battle.
Like
Chilling
we
with
like we expected them to.
chilling with the 2 SMGs. Jeez, Reeksy is going. If Reeksy takes all the SMGs this game, I mean, I think they'll be unstoppable. What do you think?
Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if there are players that only run SMGs in the tournament. We have talked about them earlier. They are very overpowered to a certain extent. If you know how to play with them, if your aim is, if you do play the young Kovacs or if you're on controller, you are set. And I would personally rather carry 2 SMGs over a shotgun. But that's my personal preference. We'll see if he actually does end up carrying both. Maybe if he does get a Spider-Man, he'll drop one of them. Maybe get some more heals. We'll see later in this game.
Like, as a fellow controller player, the SMGs I feel are very, very overpowered.
I 100% agree. I'm not even a controller player. I mean, I'm majority the time the person who complains about getting eliminated because the controller player just have that big advantage to a certain extent, but we actually
I agree with you. Controller players do have an advantage.
sorry, I'm back. Hello.
Oh, no. Controller players
Sorry,
do
my
have an advantage. I agree.
my internet cut out a little bit. I apologize. But I'm very excited to see how this game turns off. My money is most definitely on either Reevesy and Crispy because they do want some revenge. They are not in the top 5, and I think they are going to edge their way into the top 5 after this game. And they did play really aggressive and confident last game, but I think Reevesy and Crispy are going to do really well this game. If I have to say so.
It looks like Martin and Potash are out of it. I think they must have stopped the screen share. Yes, Martin and Potash are out. Martin just dropped the victory crown. Oh my days.
That is very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate for them. What are the chances it was Loves and Ace? We wouldn't know. But we are looking at Arjan. We are looking at Arjan and Venom. They look like they are in a very, very, very good position. They both have Spider-Man. They have ridiculous loot. We've seen the gold MK and the purple SMG. Absolutely crazy loot. Let's see if they can put this loot that they have to use. That is something very important.
That's right, dude. Did you pay for your license, bro? That is something.
Shot at the bottom of a cereal box. It's fine, we move.
Yeah.
This is just a reminder for everyone that is watching the stream right now. If you guys have not yet liked the stream, please make sure to do so. Subscribe if you haven't already, and do not forget to turn on your post notifications so you guys get notified when Punishes does stream, or when any type of content comes out, so you guys will get notified first when anything does come out.
And don't forget to please go to Devil's channel and subscribe and turn on your post notifications as well. Subscribe to his OnlyFans as well. There is top tier quality topics on those, so you will not be disappointed.
You will not be disappointed. But on that note, we have Gloves and Ace getting into their first or second encounter of the game. Going for a peanut butter shot, but it's not successful. They need to try and maybe secure this fight quickly. He does hit him with the crack at 106. Gloves doing the absolute most for his team, but they are playing very, very passive.
So it's like this team is in it. This team's in it. They won't stop. I think it's now we're gonna see who's either someone's gonna come out alive, either Gloves of them are gonna come out alive, or they're gonna be knocked out early.
Let's hope they can clear this team out. Maybe secure the 2 or maybe one of the eliminations. But it looks like the other team did disengage. Gloves and them not looking to fight. They're really focused on getting that end game because they have a lot to make up for, considering they did die around 20th or 21st place in the first game. So they do want to take it more passive and play a bit more seriously, which I think is a really good thing to see from them.
That 106 crack on them might have just helped them out, and they were like, no, disengage now. We can fight it later.
Yes, and that is something when you see from certain players. Some players hitting that 106 crack would have maybe gone for that player, would have gone for the elimination, but Gloves and them have seen the bigger picture. They do not care. They wanted to scare the players off and set them up rather later for the end game, which is a lot more important. We know this. We know 5 kills is not the same as getting a top 5, and that is what they have their eyes on. They have their eyes on the 2 Big Macs. That is what I can see so far.
It's all that prize money, which is brought to you by the Punishers. Just
yes,
say,
and yes, the total prize money is brought to you by the Punishers, but the 500 Rand is brought to you for today's victory hours by your boys Devil and Mandra. If you guys did not know that information.
No. It's brought to you by Punishers, bro.
Absolutely amazing. Yes, Mandra is correct. It is brought to you by the Punishers. 100% correct.
We'll take credit later. But no.
I agree. Okay, but as we go further into the game, Gloves and Ace deciding to get and make their way to zone and trying to secure themselves a decent spot in zone. I personally think they should not take any mid-game fights or any fights right now up until the late game does start.
They are heading towards goals as well, so there could be players around here. If I'm not mistaken, there's There's a I just saw a build that was getting placed, so they could be running into players. And looking at our screen right now, Gloves is hosting a giveaway on his channel where he's giving away a Cooler Master CK530 with a CK530 V2 plus a $50 gift card.
I'm very excited for this giveaway. If you guys do want to go tune into this giveaway, it is brought to you by Punishers, Gloves, and the Chaos Crew or Chaos Computers. So please make sure to go check out the giveaway with Gloves. It will be very soon over on Gloves' channel. So make sure you guys do go check that out.
I think somebody's in a fight currently, if I'm not mistaken.
We will move over to the fight soon, and it is Gloves and Ace in their third encounter for the game. They are not getting a break, but they are getting focused from multiple sides. Let's see if they can secure themselves. They are in the center zone, which is sometimes a good thing, sometimes not, sometimes a bad thing. We shall see if they come out victorious this game. As I said, I have some high hopes. They want their revenge from last game. Mateen and Patash are not in their way this game because they were eliminated quite early. So they don't have anything to worry about.
Oh, Regis with the 18 white on the player, and they did just get a kill as well. Okay, so Travis and Regis looking to pull back from what they lost in the last game. Excited to see they could be the front runner for this game.
Potentially. They are deciding to rotate to zone. This is, I almost said this is the area where Gloves and Ace are, but I am mistaken. We can see whoever we are spectating, if it's Gloves or I think it is Rejects, has not even discovered this part of the map yet. So that is something to look at. That is quite funny.
Oh,
but they
he
are
did,
looking.
He actually did. Pro players, bro.
Pro players, by the way. Yes.
Oh, so they were getting pushed by Crispy. Crispy was running away. Was the one running away from Rejects and Travis. So that shows that Rejects was taken. Rejects and Travis took out Rexy in that encounter earlier. Okay,
so that is not too sharp from Reeves and Crispy. Hopefully, Crispy can bring this back and can secure some placement points. That is 100% possible. I know he has what it takes, but let's see if he can actually do so and maybe secure maybe a top 10. Just get some placement points because they didn't have the best first game and they're also not in a really good position right now. Let's see if Crispy can put it back for them for game number 2.
As you said, this is game number 2. So I'm sure the next cup they can make it. Well, from looking from that, I would assume we just saw Travis or Rejects in replay mode. So does that mean that they were taken out?
I think it was one of the other players that was screen sharing that that were going into replay to see who got eliminated or something like that. We'll find out in a bit. But we are spectating Adrian and Venom. They are the people with the absolute correct loot. As we said, let's see if they can put it to use within this game. His AR ammo is very, very shambles, but his SMG ammo is still quite at the top. They didn't pull zone, but they both do have Spider-Man, so they should be chilling and they should be able to make this make their way to the next zone safely.
Yeah, they do have that Spider-Man mythic. They use 2 shots on it as well. So if playing it right, they can actually go for high. I know it's quite early, still quite early into the thing, but I mean, getting those shots. If we get Storm Surge, very beneficial.
If I'm being honest, hopefully we see some Storm Surge this game, but we shall see soon enough if we do encounter some Storm Surge. But Adrian and Venom deciding to rotate through Dead Side, which might be the best play. They don't want to encounter another team right now on this Dead Side rotation. Let's see if they can make their way to zone and secure themselves a good spot for the end game.
I always say dead side rotation is actually the best way because even if you're low on mats, you can replenish it from wherever you are. If you you get focused much less because there's nobody there. So and it's much more quiet, so you can actually sneak up on a player and just 1, 2, 3, and and you can get an easy knock on them.
Yes. One thing that we haven't seen this tournament so far is any 3-2-1s. 3-2-1s are an absolute ridiculous way to get some eliminations, but it's situational from game to game and in what positions you are. They are almost in zone, but there is a big hill to the northwest side, and if they want to move in, they might get hold from the players that have the height advantages of them, and there is a team on their right. Let's see if they can get themselves out of this situation.
I mean, they can go. They can go. I think this might be a solo player because that's why they are looking to push it. Oh, okay. Okay, no, they're disengaging. Sharp flipper.
They decided that fight was not for them, and they're gonna make their way into zone. And they are taking a bit of elevation, but I don't know if this is the play because they can get focused by the opposing teams on their layer. Let's see if they do be able to stick with that position.
Now we would Cloud and Ace. Well, I know they're in a very good position. I mean, they can just use the launch pad and rotate the zone.
They are very much chilling and a much better position than they were in game number 1. So let's see what Gloves and Ace have for us in game number 2.
I mean, they could be the one team because we know, like from what we know, how Gloves and Ace do play is that they do play for height a lot.
They do indeed, but I think when the opportunity does present itself, they might go for height, but that is not their number 1 priority, I think. We shall see though going into the 6th, maybe 7th zone, maybe claiming height at that stage would be the play. Right now they are going to use their one and only launch pad and they get themselves towards the next zone and secure themselves a decent position. And they do get on some elevation and they're on a really good spot, if I have to say, Manja.
These are easy. Like if you're on some sort of like a high ground, because when players are rotating, if they are using the launch pads or the Spider-Man Mythic, that's easy tags whilst they're gliding.
100%. And one thing that I still want to see from any other teams is some crazy beams out of the sky with either an SMG or an MK. And we do see Goliath Rejects picking up a nice elimination with the MK there. They are very much set, and it looks like they do have the high ground, with sitting on a total of 6 eliminations as well. And this one pulls towards them. How lucky can the Goliath boys be today?
This is what they needed. Falling short in the first game, coming back in this game. This is exactly what. And they, oh my god.
As we said, those 3-2-1s are absolutely ridiculous. The SMG sprays are absolutely hectic, and they are using it to their advantage. They are trying to look for more eliminations. They have the zone to their advantage as well, but they are getting double sprayed. They maybe need to try and disengage from this fight. Just keep their high ground and focus on the end game. There is still 28 players alive, so let's see.
And if I am correct in saying, there is no doubt that Rejects and Travis are by far in one of the top, I would say even top 5 duos. They are in the top 5 duos, without a doubt.
That is
like these
correct.
guys are
but Travis actually gets eliminated. That is not sharp. It is only Rejects, Goliath Rejects left in this game, having to clutch up for him and his teammate. But he gets absolutely beaten. And this is not looking too sharp for Goliath Rejects. He needs to try and heal up. He doesn't have any white heals, any splashes. He needs to try and make the most out of this game, but it is not looking too sharp for him. He does make a really good rotation with the Spider-Man, but it pulls opposite of him again. cannot take any more zone damage. But we are moving to Gloves and Ace. Gloves actually ended up being eliminated, but Ace is going for the race. Let's see if he can pull it off. They do have chilies and they have more splashes, so he does get him up. What
they do
clutch
have
from
more
Ace.
than enough splashes to get him up.
And they do have their Spider-Man still for rotation. Very, very, very good play there from the man Ace.
Fairly decent on maps. I mean, so they do have quite a bit. I would assume Ace has a lot as well, since Gloves is doing all the talking.
We are moving into the final 20 players of this game. Gloves and Ace doing the absolute most. And there are pitch channels, not a lot of hard mats left, but they are making the most of it. They're going to try and get a refresh now, and they end up getting a refresh. Very well played from Gloves and Ace. They need to try and get up. This is not the layer that they want to be on. They're going to go for another refresh, and they do secure another one. Very well played from the boys, Gloves and Ace, using their splashes, regrouping, and
that refresh on math though. They can play this. They can play this low ground very well.
As we said, they know how to play the height, but they also know how to play low ground. Clearly, as we're looking at the gameplay in game number 2. But Ace does end up getting eliminated. But Glove has secured them at least, I think, a top 4 or a top 5. He can maybe even still win this. There is probably a couple of solos left. Club's still on a decent amount of materials, so let's see if he can pull the company.
Venom, if I'm not mistaken, I think maybe he's still in this. Gloves very low on that. Has a decent amount of heals.
Now just an absolute beam! Gets elimination and goes for the high ground, but he does drop off. He has one build left. He needs to try and get rid of this player as soon as he can. He does 3 very unfortunate, but also a very good performance from Gloves as a solo. And we do have it. I think that game, I'm not too sure who that game went to. I don't know who Haunt is, but very well played.
But yeah, and Venom with 6 kills. 6 kills at the end of that. That's
very well played from all the teams playing that game. We didn't have Storm Surge, but it was still a crack of an end game. There was a lot more action, if I have to be honest, than game number 1 that we could have seen and spectated at least. But what a game!
A lot of them played low ground. A lot of them played low ground. Unfortunate to see when Travis and Rejects did have the height, everything was going so well for them. Travis had to die to fall damage, but that was unfortunate. That was unlucky.
They were a bit over eager, in my opinion, looking for too many eliminations. They could have played that a bit more passive and played more for the end game, but they've got a bit over eager and they threw that game a little bit, if I have to be honest.
Oh no, definitely for sure. I mean, that looked like their redemption game. Like coming out off the back of an early elimination and coming back now. It was unfortunate, I'll be honest.
100%. But that was game number 2, everyone, and we're taking a short break and then we'll be back for game number 3.
And we are back after a very, very interesting and action-packed full game two. Let's see the leaderboard and who's currently in top place. What did you think?
Last game was a lot better than the first game. We did have a lot more perspectives in the end game, but as we can see, is Wilkie and Steady taking game number two, and that are taking up first place right now. So very 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 well played by them. I apologize for not knowing who that was, but it was Steady and Wilkie taking game number two's victory royale. Moog staying, I don't know who that team is or who the two players are, but they're staying very consistent and they are still in second place. Venom, I think that is Venom and Adrian, pushing themselves up into third place. And as we talked about it, the leaderboard can swap so quickly in the first couple of games. It is absolutely crazy. And one thing that I
Yeah.
just got informed is Steady accidentally he submitted game three in for game two score, so that is why it shows in game three for all the people wondering. So if you guys saw that, he submitted game number two in game three slot, but that is no problem. But if we look at the rest of the leaderboard, as we said, Reefsy and Crispy, I told you, Manjra, we can go back. I told you they were looking for revenge that game, and they did end up edging their way into the top five, like I said they would. They are in fourth place right now. Then we have coached by Lessix, Infernal, and Fate, also edging their way into the top five. Spooky and CK dropping a couple of spots. I think if I'm correct, they were in the top five, but they dropped down to seventh. And then we have Legacy and Cos, which is in seventh place, and then we have another team, Jealous and Cozy, coming in at top eight. But I had fun, so much fun watching game number two. I cannot wait to see what game number three has in store for us. Let's hope all of the perspectives that we do have, all of them end up making it to end game, so we can have the full and final experience in game number three's
Like,
end game.
like if you do look at it, Gloves and Ace weren't in the top 10. Now they are. Jealous, Cozy, and Jolicious, if I'm not mistaken, is it? They weren't in the top 10. Now they are. Uh, the difference in points coming up from 8th to 5th is anybody's play, but the difference from 5th to 1st is a huge leap.
Of
So
course,
it's gonna
I mean,
be a few games.
it is going to see who's the most consistent. As I said, Steady and Wilkie, and then the Moog, the team that is Moog, they are really consistent. If they can keep that up, they have this the semifinal in the bag. But as you said, we still have three more games. So it is anyone's ball game. The top three could die of spawn. They could get into a very unfortunate mid game fight. And the people in 10th or 13th place could maybe win the next game. We never know. It is unpredictable, but that is what makes this the semifinal so exciting for me, Manja.
Yeah, I agree, because it's not only just about coming out top 25 to qualify for the finals, but it's also to get that sweet victory and to earn that 104, that Vic Roy for that certain game. I mean, it's all to play. It's here. In today's tournament, there's nothing that you can lose, but there's everything that you can play for.
Exactly. So qualing at this stage is fairly easy for the participants today, for everyone that is playing, but it is everyone is going for that victory out to maybe earn some extra money, some money for McDonald's tonight, as we said multiple times before.
Or or that little oop to see your girlfriend. You never
Of
know.
course, you
Yeah.
never know. But the players that are in the top three right now is players that I'm not too familiar of, but as I said, we can call them underrated players. But Adrian and Venom edging their way into the top three after only two games, and they've been quite consistent. So I'm excited to see if they can not fall under the pressure and if they can keep their focus and continue to have a good semi-final.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as we said, like this tournament is not obviously only meant for all the top tier one pros to show their stuff, but it's also meant for the underrated gens that nobody knows about to finally have that chance to show their potential to come up. And I mean, speaking of underrated gens, we got Arjan and Venom right now that are on our screen. Nope, if I'm
Very,
not
very.
mistaken, we haven't heard, but they're here now.
That is very convenient. But yeah, seems like they are in a decent position. They land actually right outside of Bugle, so that is in the area of Altus and Mick Stixx. So they need to be aware, of course. Make sure they don't run into a team or encounter a fight that they don't want this early. But we shall see what Venom and Ardren can bring us this game, and see if they can bring back a victory royale.
Like at this point in the game, I would say for Arjan and Venom is not concentrate on early fights, but concentrate on the late game, because for them to at least pop up in the top five will be a really huge confidence booster going into finals.
Of course, like at the end of the day, the semifinals don't make that much of a difference, because your main goal is to place and do really well in the finals. But if you end up doing well in the semifinals, it just helps you so much mentally, I feel, and you just feel a lot more prepared if you do well in one of the semifinals.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, looking at it also, the people that are even playing tomorrow, or the people that will go back and watch the stream to see how the players will play, will do their research and be like, okay, this guy, these are how they play. They can be people to watch out for. Like doing well in a semifinal or in a qualifier means players can be scared of you to try and push you because they don't want to die. They want to make it to that late game.
Of
That's
course,
where that
that
intimidation
is
factor comes in.
that is what everyone's goals are, and as we can see, this the semifinal isn't as stacked as everyone might have wanted it to be. But one thing I can assure everyone is the finals are gonna be an absolute stacker, and that is gonna be ridiculously interesting to watch. So make sure you guys do not miss the finals. It is gonna be a banger.
The finals, if I'm not mistaken, is played on Sunday, right?
If I'm correct, yes, it should be on Sunday. So if you guys don't have anything to do this Sunday, make sure to come tune into the finals and come watch the top players battle it out and see who's going to take that first place.
If I'm not mistaken, what's the prize pool we're looking at again for first,
It is
second, and third?
it is, if I'm not I cannot tell you about that right now because I'm not sure. I don't want to give any false information, but it is a really big amount, and anyone within the top three is going to be happy with what they are bringing home. And of course, the bragging rights. We can never forget about the bragging rights, regardless of the cash you're bringing home if you're landing in the top three. But being able to say you placed in the first big tournament, in the first big duo tournament of the year, I would take that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as I say, bragging rights, the placements that counts. Like for any obviously the young players that want to show their stuff and make their name in the community. Things like this can change your life, basically. I mean, let's look at it for example, right? Tim made his name in the Incredible Connection Cup. Before that,
Yes.
nobody really knew who he was. So like this too. This is something that players can use to show their stuff.
Exactly.
And I
Like
wish them all the
you can
best.
show your true potential. And a lot of people have the potential, but they fall under the pressure. They get nervous, and that is where the experience from all of the tier one players and the the South African pros
that's where they shine in a different way. They know how to handle the pressure going into those last 2 games. If you're behind by a couple of points, they know how to counter that, and how to deal with that stress.
For sure. Because I mean, like the pro players, obviously, they do spend a lot of time playing scrums. Like if the guys don't know about alpha scrums, that's where obviously like the scrimmage games used to happen and stuff. Then there's but one thing the ZA gents you have to commend them for is how they go up against the zero ping people on the like the SAQR customs, or like the dual ladders and stuff like that. And that's why they're so
100%.
Well, like it's I can't get the word for it, man. they're so ready for the ZA tournament, especially because I mean, like you're playing FNCS.
Yeah, they're prepared.
They're
prepared.
And they just show. They come, they show up, they do their stuff, and they go. So it is. I mean, if you look at it, Adrian could be the next rejects for all we know.
Exactly.
Then it could be the next.
Anything could happen. You know, players also start moving on if people don't want to take this game further. If they don't want to continue focusing on this, certain pro players will start leaving the community. This, that, and then new players will start to rise. And that is something I'm quite excited to see over the next couple of months, maybe even a year or two, to see who are going to be the Reepsies, the Travises, you know what I'm saying? Who is going to be the future face of the South African community?
Definitely. And as we can see it in chat, thanks to the people from Punishes, Easy. The breakdown for the prize pool is here. First place gets 7,000, second place 1,000, and third place 3,000. Like,
now, to be honest, that is a ridiculous amount. If I was 15 or 14 years old, telling my mother I just won a 7,000 rand tournament, it's just on another level. I feel and that's still up for grabs for anyone on Sunday. And let's see who pushes through today in the semi-final 1, tomorrow in semi-final 2, and who's gonna come up on top in the first, second, and third position on Sunday.
Definitely. And what people also need to realize is, and what they need to take into account, is that a lot of these tournaments, obviously all of these tournaments that are hosted obviously through EPS, are all free to enter. So you coming in, as you say, you have nothing to lose, but you have everything to play for. One game can change everything. That's basically.
And that is one of the biggest things. It is a matter of who puts in the most work, who grinds the hardest, and yeah.
I mean, look at us. We don't even have to play this tournament. We already know we're too good. So, I mean, that's just easy money for other people. I mean, we would have came out first, second, and third. That's how good we are. But we let other people.
Exactly. I mean, we would have taken the full 15,000 rand. But as I said earlier, if the people missed it, we are giving the other players an opportunity, to show their potential, to finally get some money. Because me and Manjot, we just decided to be the nice guys, for once, and not, and not just to win every tournament.
I mean, we can if we wanted to, but us. We're just the best.
Of course. We are indeed. But there is already a couple of people eliminated, and we see Adrian and Venom actually sitting on 2 eliminations, or both coming from Adrian. And once again, it is about that confidence. It is how your early game, how your previous games went, how you're going to be playing within the next games, and make sure the nerves and the stress does not get to you.
We are now with Mateen and Potage, and this could be gloves and ace, because they're right in your chonkers. They're in zone. This could be an interesting battle to watch. Your predictions. If Mateen and Potash have to go up against Ace and Club, who would you say would come out with the win?
At the moment, it is any man's game. Like, as we know, Mateen and Prakash did secure the first encounter, but we never know. Like, it could go anywhere. I definitely think it would go towards Gloves and Ace the second time around.
I think they would be more of how they do play. Like now you can see they are in a fight as well.
Of course, and they are in zone. They don't have to worry about any extra rotations. They are in zone, but they are going to go for the supply drop back here. They already have so much mobility. They have 4 peppers, and they have 2 launch pads, and they're about to get they're about to secure a third one. So Gloves and them are definitely in one of the best positions they've been in this whole tournament. So I'm really excited to see if they can have another really good game like they did last game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, just alone with 3 launch pads can not only help you disengage, but it can help you like like end game. It can help you take height, try to go for height twice if you have to. If you fall down, there's another one and you back up again. There's so many things that a launch pad can have. When launch pads got vaulted, it was one of the most toughest times in terms of rotation when I think it was back in chapter 2. And people were it caused like a scene for like the comp scene, because launch pads were like your main source of like rotation end game. And then after that it just turned into peppers and stuff like that, and it was weird. It was a weird time.
Exactly. No, I remember, I've been through all of the nerfs, all of the different seasons, and it's the way that everyone finds a way to adapt every season. There's of course so many things to complain about every season, but also things to be thankful for. So this season is a prime example. Everyone was happy about the new map, the big changes, but then people came and said, yo, the SMGs are too strong, the spray weapons are ridiculous. But everyone adapts. Everyone finds a way to still enjoy the game, and everyone still has fun, I feel.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I mean, the new map brought a new sense of adventure. What's new? How do we adjust? I mean, if look at it, I'll be honest. Even just using the Spider-Man mythic and swinging around the whole map is just fun on its own.
That is 100%. That is 100% true. We do see Crispy and Reefsy getting a knock and about to secure this elimination, get a refresh, and I don't know if they are going to key his teammate, but that is very crucial for them, getting some more loot. So securing another and an extra point, and just as I said, building up that confidence going towards the end game.
That purple MK though, like
that is most definitely going to do some damage.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous to see. It is ridiculous what can happen in like a few seconds. Like as we said, like things changed. Dude. A player on height
wise words coming from Izzy and chat. If people put as much effort into gaming like they do in complaining and being negative, then the com would be different. And that is 100% accurate.
That is true. Especially all the gents. Like, bro, it's the gents. It's the gents that cause it. Open out. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Well, the camera's not on me, but I'm looking at you. Stop being negative. It's a game. Simple.
It is as simple as that.
If you die, play another one. Fine.
We are looking at, going back to the gameplay side of things, we are looking at Mateen and Potash in a pretty decent position. They are trying to get some double sprays, maybe some tags. If there might be some Storm Surge this game, I'm not too sure. They have a Rift in their box, so they do have one rotation completely free. So that is very, putting themselves in that position. And they're securing their next rotation is absolutely free.
And they are in a place where if they are lucky enough, they can secure every single zone right up until half in, half out. If they have to get that, and they have that rift as rotation, that is like one of the most. That is the most freest. This is the most freest position they can get.
Exactly, and they do have a possibility to pull zone as well. If they do, they're going to be absolutely set for the end game.
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, 41 players still remaining. It's quite a stack lobby. It is quite a stack lobby.
It is definitely more stacked than game number 2. Game number 2 had a bit of a dip, and we didn't see Storm Surge. I think we might see some Storm Surge this game.
Definitely, and I don't, and from what you can hear is like you can't see like a lot of people fighting or a lot of people shooting at each other. So I'm assuming like waiting until half an hour, or once everybody does start the rotations, that's when the guns are going to be blazing. Let's see. I want to see if Storm Surge happens. See how long it's going to last. Oh, I'll be back in a bit. Like, my stuff's here.
100%, 100%. I'll be taking over for the remainder while Mandra is not here. But one thing that I can do say, everyone that is watching the stream, please do not forget to leave a like. It would support the channel so much. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you guys do get notified when Punishers goes live or post any sort of content. What is up, Storm, the big man? How are you doing? We do see Gloves and Ace, or Gloves as AFK most likely, or not, but they're on a decent position. They have a ridiculous amount of rotation. They have those 4 chili peppers that are really crucial going into the end game, rotating a lot quicker and securing a better spot within seconds, cracking the opposite player that they may be trying to look for elimination on. And as I said, the rotation is ridiculous. Have their 2 launch pads as well, along with the chilies. They're looking to double spray players that are healing, and he does get the elimination. Gloves and Ace's teamwork there was immense, and they do end up picking up an elimination, and they are going to go for it. It is still on the edge of zone. All they have to do is secure and get close to be able to box fight this, and just hop in like he is doing, and Gloves and Ace secure the elimination. Very, very well played from them, and they are doing the most. They are set, and now they are most definitely ready for the end game. That was massive for the boys, Gloves.
For those of you that don't know what just happened, GR Karwa killed the Gloves in ACGL finals, and he posted it on TikTok. So this was more like revenge for Gloves for this film. GG,
and that is a big thing. Revenge always plays a part in these types of tournaments. Gloves and Ace about to hit a free launch pad, keeping their rotation. Their rotation is just stacking up till the end. They have one of the earlier rotations, as long as they don't get beamed, and they don't. That was a very, very, very well planned rotation. And they're in a really good position right now. Storm, I almost said Storm and Crispy. My bad, Storm. I apologize. You're not good enough to play with Reefsy. I meant Crispy and Reefsy. Crispy and Reefsy in a very good position. The last 2 games they were shambles in one way or another, and this game they are both alive. They have a crazy amount of loot. They got a nice refresh, and they pulled zone. So let's see if they can finally edge closer to that victory, or maybe edge closer to that top 3 position on the leaderboard.
They do have a kill in their hands as well, so. Oh. Did you just get another kill?
I'm not sure, if I have to be honest, but we are going into the 5th zone with 33 players. Reefsy and Crispy just looking for maybe to get a beam on one of the players rotating, or to secure their rotation for the next zone. And they do pull the next zone. They're trying to get some. They're trying to spray down one of the players on the layers above them. They did pull zone. That is very, very, very big for them. But we are going to switch perspectives and go over to Mateen and Patash, who is in a pretty good position, as you guys can see. And they do have the Spider-Man. We haven't seen the most plays with the Spider-Man this game, so let's see how they can put that to use. They don't have any launch pads that I think of. Actually, no, I think they might. But we're going to see how they're going to rotate with this next zone and see if they can, maximize their placement. They did actually have one launch pad. Getting a bit scuffed there was Mateen, but it's fine. He recovered. He is a bit far from his teammate Patash. He's going to use Spider-Man, get closer to him, and they do regroup. Very, very well played from them. He almost got scuffed there. That would have been very bad for them.
And we do have Storm Surge.
Storm Surge once again. As I said, this game is definitely more of a stacker than game number 2. Using another launch pad, so it was actually Tash that was carrying all of the launch pads. So we thought they didn't have rotation, but they did. And now we're moving back to the main dogs, Gloves and Ace. They're in a very, very good position. They were set up from the beginning of the game. They took their fights very smart, and I see them coming out on top in this game, if I have to be honest. Gloves ending up getting an elimination in Storm, getting some tags on another player. And they're going to land in front side of zone in one of the bottom layers.
Gloves does have a decent amount of heal, ammo. Still has that one more launch pad as well.
That is one thing, Manja, we haven't seen today a lot, is people using the sliding mechanic. And it is actually very crucial if people can use it to their advantage if you need to rotate. Glove getting the players in his opposing box, they maybe need to try and get out, or they need to cycle this. But I think the most important thing is to get out. But Glove does end up cracking one of the players. They're going to regroup and just calm down for 1 second and focus on their next rotation. I think they want to launch pad, but they have to go far into zone. They do end up getting the launch pad, and they are going to go for height. Gloves and Ace doing the absolute most, cracking the players that are contesting on height. Ace is getting beamed, but they did indeed secure height.
They do grab the height.
But they are getting spread out, but as long as they can just build and secure this, they should be chilling. They must just not panic, and I think they got this. They do not have the most mats they need to drop. Unfortunately, they do not have any hard. That Gloves is also very, very, very scuffed. They need to regroup and start working on a plan to rotate towards next zone. We're going to be switching perspectives here. People that actually already got eliminated coming 7th. We am not too sure who that perspective was, but we do have Reepsy and Crispy on the high ground, but they did get shot out, taking 55 full damage, but they still have it secured.
They are both alive as well, and in an end game like this, at an end like this, both teammates being alive is the most important thing.
It is very important, but one thing that we can see is Reepsy does not have any materials left. I'm not sure about Crispy as well, and Reepsy does end up dropping down. It is a 2v1 situation. What can Reepsy and Crispy do here? They should have this one in the bag. The player runs out into zone, and they do end up clearing up the last elimination, and Reepsy and Crispy pulling through the victory. Reepsy. I apologize.
Killed by Crispy. 7 kills by Crispy.
Crispy, what's going on? What is this carry by Crispy? Crispy. Yay. Very, very well played from the boys, Reepsy and Crispy. Or as I said, Reepsy, my bad. Very well played. That game was an absolute stacker. As I said, we will get Storm Surge in game 3 because I had a different feeling. I had a different feeling, Manja. But very, very, very good game to watch. I don't know what you thought about that, Manja.
Oh no! It got very interesting when Gloves and Ace went for height. Like we knew that from the start.
Now we knew at least it was Reepsy and Crispy that took the height back from them, and then they ended up not being in the best of positions. But Gloves and Ace did secure a good game, so even if they didn't secure height, they did end up pulling a lot of points that game.
And we did say at the beginning, Reeps and Crispy would be one of them that eventually would take that
Exactly.
game.
That is what we said. But that is it for game number. I think that was game number three, two. Am I mistaken? Game number three,
So that was three.
and
Game number three. It was game number three.
that was game number three. My apologies. And we will take a short break and then see you guys back here for game number four. And we are back, everyone, and we are about to start with the game number 4. We're really excited. We're edging into the last 2 games of the tournament, and it has been an absolute saucer. And it has been really entertaining to watch and to cast. And looking at the previous games winners, we had Reepsy and Crispy. Excuse me. What do you think about their performance, Panja?
I mean, it was expected. It was expected. We did say that eventually they will come back. They will have that one game that will change it for them. And looking at the leaderboard, it actually did. I mean, we got Moog. We got Moog, who they have been consistent, just constant the whole way, sitting now at first place.
Exactly,
And
and as we talked about, it is about that consistency. It is about getting your placement points, getting that top 5 or that maybe even top 4, top 3 every single game, not caring about the eliminations and only taking the opportunity when it lies in front of you. And they ended up they are the most consistent so far, and let's see if they can keep it up within the last 2 games. Reeves and Crispy going from 8th after the first game to 4th, and now in 2nd. They also have an opportunity to take first place because they have been scuffed every game except for last game, and when they weren't in a bad position, they ended up winning the game. And then Steady and Wilkie, I don't know if they have submitted yet, or maybe they died of spawn, but they are still in 4th at least. And I think they might have died of spawn. And then Adrian and Venom keeping their consistency as well. They are right on par, right there in the top 3. There is very little points that's a very small points difference, and they can also still take this. This is a very, very, very good semi-final to watch, and I'm very excited for the rest of the tournaments. Spooky and CK in 6, Infernal Fate 5th, 7th is Loves and Ace. They're edging their way closer as well. If they can get another good game, they can also edge their way back maybe into the top 3.
if they get a win, they could possibly even be first, by the looks of it. I mean, it's. I mean, look at it. A
It is
40
anyone's
points
game.
gap that big. It's one good game where the top teams could do less better and get less points, and then the team that has been like in 7th or 8th position can just come right from the back and take it, because they'll
Of
have that
course.
extra 40, 30 points in that added. Shucks! I'm flipping. Man. They'll have that extra points, and they can take top spot.
Exactly. So that is, if the top teams end up, not doing as well in the game, then anyone from from maybe fourth to 8th place, maybe even 9th place, can get a really good game and then come and edge closer to the top 3, and maybe even first.
Definitely, for sure. And also like how Reepsy did, like how Spooky and CK did. Like, if I'm not mistaken, who won game 2? Who was
It
the winner of game
was
2? Wilkie and
so
Steady.
the one of the games, it was Steady and Wilkie.
Yeah. Like they won. Reepsy won 100 rand. Reepsy and Crispy won 100 rand. Steady Wilkie won 100 rand. CK and Spooky won 100 rand. Next 2 games can either be either them, or 2 new teams can win money as well. Not only just cementing themselves in the final, but I mean earning something with that along the way.
Exactly, and all of these players have already, I'd say all the people within the top 10 have already secured their spot in the finals. It is a matter of the lower end of the teams, the players that aren't doing so well, that are maybe getting a bit unlucky. It is up to them, for them to push to get into the top 25 of today.
I mean, and they can even do that in these last 2 games, because even the gens that are lower are in that like top 20 to between top 20 to top 30 bracket. The points gap, I'm sure, is not that much to where that in these next 2 games that even a person that's in 30th can come to 24th.
Exactly.
So it's also
So yeah, we are getting the 4th game underway, and I'm very excited. And let's see who is gonna take this game. Who do you have winning or doing really well this game, Mandra?
I want to see Ace and Gloves win the game. I want to see Ace and Gloves win the game.
I
That's
feel
my
they
one.
100% have what it takes. They 100% have what it takes.
Yeah.
They are edging closer and closer. I feel last game when they did go for height, they they had a very good attempt, but I feel like it was very unlucky that it was Reepsy and Crispy that they had to fight on height. So also a really good, other team. But
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. And we actually see Altus and Mick Stixx changing up their drop. Changing up their drop for this game. They're actually gonna go. They're gonna go greasy, and they're not landing the bugle anymore. So let's see
Yeah,
what they can do and who they're going to be fighting. Who they're going to be fighting off spawn here.
I mean, if taken, they aren't in the top 10 currently. Could be that the team at Bugle was taking them out in the last 2 games. Like maybe they could have been dying of sport.
Yeah, so maybe they had some bad RNG. That's why they decided to switch up their drops. But personally, I feel that is something you never should do. If you are getting unlucky to a certain extent, you need to stick to your drop, what you practiced, and then fight the people with confidence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're landing somewhere, you need to own it. You need to show that it's yours. If you're changing up your drop spot, then I mean, you could be possibly griefing another team unintentionally also.
Exactly.
Because that team maybe is doing their best, they own the place, and then a new team just coming in throws it off the balance.
So yeah, it's quite crucial to win at least your first 2 games. I'd say if you win your first 2 games at your current drop spot, the other team would maybe dash, or you already have built up that confidence that you're gonna win. You're gonna win your fights there. But for Altus and them, it wasn't like that. They won their first game at the Bugle, and then the next 2 games they ended up losing to the opposing team that they were versing. So then they decided, let's not take another 50-50, and let's rather switch up our drop spots and maybe have a chance of getting some more points, getting actually to the end game.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can't hear anything for some reason.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Gameplay on my side is frozen too. Oh, what's happening?
One thing I am going to mention to everyone in chat while we are still in the off-spawn areas before we take this fight is the giveaway with gloves that is coming up quite soon on Gloves channel. If you guys do want to go check it out, please make sure to go check it out. The link has been sent in the chat. The giveaway with gloves sponsored by the Punishers and Chaos Crew. So make sure you guys check them out. And make sure you guys go check out the giveaway. They're giving away a Cooler Master CK530V2 keyboard and a $50 $50 gift card, if I'm correct. So please make sure to go check that out. The link has been sent in the chat. So yeah, as I said, this is the giveaway that I was just talking about. The giveaway with gloves. They're giving away the CK530 V2 and the $50. So make sure you guys go check that out. The link is in the live stream chat if you guys would like to go check that out. And getting back to the game, Altus and Stixx seeming to be in a better position, but they ended up not dying off spawn so far. We are back to Gloves and to Ace, and let's see if they can have another good game like they had last game. Although they did not end up winning last game, they did still get themselves into, I think it was a top 3 position. So that was really big for them, edging them back into the top 10. And if they have a really good game, maybe even potential winners for this game, they could come close to the top 3s.
So we'll have to see how this game ends up on, and how confident they play, and if they can get as good RNG as they did last game. One thing I would like to hear from everybody in the chat right now and in the live stream, who do you guys have winning this game? So me personally, last game I said it was going to be Reefsy and Crispy. It was Reefsy and Crispy. I personally think it is going to be Gloves and Ace this one. I feel they are looking for that victory out. They're looking for their redemption because they didn't have the best first game. They started bringing it back within the last 2 games. But please let me know who you guys think is going to be taking the game number 4. Devil Black is winning. You see, Hyper Yoda, this is the thing. Me and Mandra discussed that. You know, the reason why me and Mandra aren't playing is because we want to give the other players a shot for once. You know, we want to be kind, not take all the money for ourselves, and that is why me and Mandra aren't playing in the tournament. Gloves actually picking up an elimination, or Ace actually picking up elimination there. They have been chasing this team for quite a while now, but they do end up getting one of the eliminations. The other player is swimming like Michael Phelps. He did get away, so that is unfortunate for Gloves and Ace, but they did still secure one of the eliminations. So getting some more loot. Their loot is looking really, really good at this stage. The zone is not in their favor this game, but I'm sure they'll know how to rotate this and get to zone as quickly as possible and as effectively as possible. I love these gens. You see, Isabel, that is not 100% a factual statement, but it is in the talks. It is 100% in the talks. And everyone wondering why Mandra is not speaking. Mandra actually disconnected, so that is why he's not speaking. He's not in the call, so he will probably be back soon, or maybe he's just having some technical difficulties. So for now, your boy Devil Black will be taking over until Mandra gets back. I appreciate that, Happy Yoda. Thank you, my man. Thank you, dude. It's all good, Mandra. Don't stress. Fix it when you can. Fix it when you can, my man. We see Adrian and Venom trying to line up a 3-2-1. Absolutely beams the other player. I don't know if they cracked him. They are kind of looking to play a bit aggressive on this opposing team. We'll see if they do end up taking this fight. I have 100% faith in this team. They are a new upcoming team, but they have been doing really well this tournament so far. So let's see if they can keep that going and if they can keep playing confident. There is a couple of teams in the Sanctuary area. They do definitely have enough splashes, one thing that I only realized now. But they are super chilling, and they ended up not playing too aggressive on the team. And they are deciding just to focus on zone and just start rotating. Venom and Arjun are doing very well. They are indeed, and they are showing a lot of potential today. Putash and Mateen actually in also a very good position. They want to maybe secure one of the hills, which could be super crucial. They have a ridiculous amount of splashes as well, like Ardra and Venom also had. And if the zone does pull towards them, we can maybe even see Mateen and Putash winning a game, getting the fourth game's victory royale. Anything is possible at this stage. Getting the emote from the boy Mateen, showing us a bit of the toxicity side. Trying to get some tags for potential Storm Surge, but if I am being honest, I don't think this is going to be the game where there is going to be Storm Surge. Maybe within the last game, but personally, I think this game there is going to be no Storm Surge. We will have to see and wait it out up till maybe fifth or sixth zone. And with that said, we are moving over to Reepsy and Crispy. Reepsy and Crispy showed us what they had last game, taking game number 3 and doing the absolute most. Let's see if they can indeed do it again. I do have faith in them, and they are definitely confident and aggressive. And with that RNG and with that speaking, they did actually get a llama here in the sleepy side of on the map. So that is very lucky on their part, and going to secure some more splashes and a lot and a bunch of extra materials. So that is very crucial for them, and their RNG could not have been better this game. Reepsy not running with a shotgun, as we said, some people don't prefer running with the shotguns. They will take the SMG much rather, and that is what we're seeing right here from Reepsy. Reepsy then deciding to get a bounty in Sleepy, and it is a team that is actually quite close to them. I doubt they're gonna W key. Reepsy and them are really focused on maybe even winning this, winning the semi-final. And let's see if they can pull it through. And we are jumping into some action, actually, switching over from Reeves, and then we're watching Aviva and Ethan just clearing up one of the teams that they fought in Coney's side. Getting absolutely beamed is Ethan. He needs to use those splashes, get back into zone. His Spider-Man is busy reloading, so they need to try and get into zone and just heal up and get into a bit of a better position. Aviva actually getting knocked out by the team that is focusing them. Tries to hit a shot, he actually does end up missing it. He does have a decent amount of match. You can maybe try and Spider-Man away. He needs to be careful though. He needs to heal up and then get out of here as soon as possible. And it does end up not hitting the Spider-Man, doing him dirty. The zone is also coming in. They are hopping in his box. And they do end up getting eliminated. I am not sure who that is. It might be Mateen and Putash. But that is very unfortunate for Aviva and for Ethan. Switching back over to the perspective, back to Gloves and to Ace. In a quite decent position. They are not the best on their hard mats, but we shall see what they can do later on in the game. Maybe get a refresh. Maybe play a bit aggressive towards one of the opposing teams in their area. Gloves and Ace finally starting to do some rotations. The next zones are finally to pull up, and they are securing their spot in the next zone. They're not going to center, which is a lot of people think going center is always, you know, your best shot of pulling either zone. But if you do have your rotations set up correctly, if you do have enough mobility, it is much better to go in the edge of zone like Gloves and Ace are doing right here. And they seem to be quite chilling. Their loot is absolutely superb. The shotgun of Gloves is not the best, but the rest of his loot, his chili peppers, as we talked about it saved them in that one game where it made them clutch up, and it can just help you a lot more to a certain extent. And then of course that purple MK, any purple spray weapon this season is absolutely ridiculous, but that MK does indeed shred, and it makes a big difference going into the end game. Where's Mandra? Mandra's internet disconnected or crashed, so he'll maybe be back within the next couple of minutes. Diablo. I love you. Oh, I love you too, Gloves. Gloves showing some love there in the text box, of his friend request. So how nice. We're seeing some strategic plays from Mick, Stixx, and Altus. As we said, they did end up switching their drop from game number 1, 2, and 3. They decided to go Greasy Grove, and they ended up getting out there alive with no eliminations, though. There was an opposing team there, but both of the teams ended up getting out of Greasy alive. One thing that I can say about this season in certain areas of the map is the trees, as you guys just saw where Altus and them shot the tree. That can mess up another team very, very, very badly if you use the falling trees to your advantage. And that was it could play a very big role in a tournament, especially in the later zones like this. And Mick, Stixx, and Altus actually very, very close to pulling a zone. They are around 2 to 3 boxes out, so they can be very happy with the next zone. They do have some rotation. They do have their Spider-Mans as well, which is very, very crucial. They are going to try and look for some tags, maybe even get a double spray elimination on another team, because they do have some making up to do, because in game number 2 and 3 they did dive spawn at the Bugle. So we shall see if they can bring it back this game. We haven't seen them in the past 2 end games. We see there's players that came to land on their layer and started building up. They could maybe even edit them out. But we are switching over to Reepsy and Crispy. Reepsy ending up getting an elimination in these later zones. So very well played by them. And they ended up getting 2 pads from the opposing teams and getting nearly chopped by a tree. Reepsy needs to try and get out of this position. This is not looking too sharp. And he does. Very, very well played. They need to regroup and heal up as soon as they can and secure all the loot that they just got the elimination on. We'll see what they can do here. Reepsy and Crispy going into the end game. But the first moving zone is about to start, and there's still 29 players left. Not the most compared to the other games, but it is still quite a stacker. We'll see what Reepsy and them are going to do. Reepsy actually ended up not picking up the Spider-Man. He's going to stick with his Chili Chugs, his Bigs, and his Minis. He also does not have a shotgun, but he does have those 2 pads for rotation and the Chili Chugs, so they are super set for the rest of this endgame. The zone is finally starting to move, and I think they're going to edit out pad and get it going, but the pad does not place correctly, and it messes them up a little bit. But Reepsy is just running. He is just running in this endgame. No one's looking at him. No one's shooting him. This is an absolute stunner of a rotation. Reepsy doing the absolute most for him and Crispy, and just securing those solid tops. That is the way you rotate in the ZA community and in ZA tournaments, guys, right there. And we are going to be switching perspectives, and we're going to be going to Gloves and Ace, my favorites for this game. And let's see if they can push this one through, if they can make me happy, and see if my theory was correct. So they're going to try and spray out height. We do not know who the height players are. I think they're going to stick to this mid layer. They do not have the most hard mats, and we saw this. They were in the exact same position last game, where their mats were the reason where they couldn't, keep height. They couldn't win the game. So let's see if they can make a change to that. They need to try and shoot out height if they are going to want to go for it. We get a double ding from Gloves. Gloves showing some crazy aim right there. They are on a very congested layer, which they maybe want to try and drop off of, or they're going to need to try and claim. And Gloves hits a wonderful one pump on EQ, if I'm correct. And that is a wonderful refresh. He did not have the most mats, but he had a lot of extra splashes. So very, very, very well done by Gloves there. Gloves and Ace are bowed in right now. They are focused, and it looks like they are ready to maybe even take height this game. They have their Chili Chugs. And I think that's what they're doing for now. Gloves and Ace are trying to go for height. He leaves the play on his low, the superior skin. And they do take height, everyone. What did I say? They were looking for the correct opportunity, and they did so. They have high ground. Now is the key, just to keep it, spray down, and get those extra eliminations. Gloves and Ace doing the absolute most. There's only 12 other players left, getting an absolute beam on the other team. And I'm not sure who that was, but he did get eliminated. Gloves dropping is going to actually go for that lead because he has a ridiculous amount of splashes. Gets a crazy amount of mats back in zone. What a play from the man Gloves. Gloves and Ace are smashing it in game number 4, everyone. They just need to keep height as they are doing, and they will come out as the winners in game number 4. Gloves trying to apply as much pressure as possible on the mid and the low ground teams. They are quite high up, and he only has 19 builds left. Him and Ace need to try and conserve a bit more mats, and they could even go into heal off. If it had to go till that, they could. They have the splashes for it. They have the heals. There's 3 other players left, so potentially 1 other duo and a solo. Gloves and Ace. What a performance so far in game number 4. They do not have a lot of materials left. I think that was all the materials that Ace dropped him. The players on low did get eliminated, and it is a 2v1 situation. Gloves and them can physically not lose this. They're gonna look down at the play right now and crack him, and it is Gloves and Ace that do take game number 4's victory royale. What a stunning performance. Gloves and Ace doing the absolute most, and as I called it early in this game, Gloves and Ace were looking for that victory royale, and they ended up getting it. What a wonderful performance. Absolute stunner of a game, and very, very, very well played. Personally, I mean, if I have to brag a little bit, I did say they were going to win this game, but let's not talk about Devil's let's not talk about devil's assumptions.
As you guys can see, Manja has a lot of opinions, but he's just thinking about them right now. Once again, all the people tuning into the stream, thank you guys so much. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to take a little break and then come back for the final game of the KO 2022 Punishers Duo Cup semi-final 1.
And we are officially back. And what a stunning performance from everyone in game number 4. It was an absolute stacker, and Glubs and Ace coming in with the victory out there at the end, as I did call it. So that was a really good performance from them. I'm very excited to see the last game. Who's gonna end up taking, semi-final one? Who's gonna come out victorious? If we look at the leaderboard at the moment, we have Reepsy and Crispy taking the lead, and then Gloves and A securing a 4th place after that. Before the last 2 games, they weren't even seen in the top 10. And then they worked their way up to 7th after the 3rd game, and after game number 4, they are in 4th. So if they do get another big game, they can get themselves into maybe even, first place if Reevesy and Crispy end up not doing well. But Reevesy and Crispy have been on a roll the past 2 games where they've put themselves in a lot better positions. And the first 2 games they were really scuffed. So one thing that I do know is Steri and Wilkie. Steri can't play the rest of. He can't play the 5th game. So I think they're gonna try and find a full, or continue to, or maybe even just stick with their current points. But we'll see what they will do. And then we have Arjan and Vedem staying consistent. Look at those points: 42, 62, 46, 48. Keeping that consistency, it is so important in tournaments like these. Not getting a game where you dive spawn, securing your drop spot, and making sure you make it to that end game every single game. So then we also have Moog. Moog and them did really well after the first 3 games, and then they started getting a bit unlucky. They pushed down from 1st place down to 5th over the last 2 games. They can still bring it back, of course. And then we have Spook and CK, who haven't had the best past 2 games, but they can still bring it back in the 5th one. And then Matina and Potash in 8th, Legacy and Cars in 9th, and then Venomous Tiger or Venom in 10th place. So I am truly very excited for this final game, and it is going to be an absolute banger. So one thing that I do want to hear from everybody in the chat is, who do you guys think is taking game number 5, the final game of the KO2022 Punishers Duo Cup semi-final 1? If I'm being 1000% honest, I think we are going to see another W from Reepsy and Crispy. They have had an outstanding performance today, and I think them being first right now, going into the last game, nerves will not get to them. They are very experienced players. This is like playing a hype cup for them. They know what to do. They know how to handle it, and I think they'll be taking the win of the final game. But as we're talking, we got game number 5 finally starting. We're getting underway. A couple of players already being eliminated. Only 48 players left, so this game is not really that stacked. And we are looking at Altus and Stixx, who recently changed up their drop from Bugle because they did dive spawn the 2nd and the 3rd game. They are contesting the players at Greasy. Altus gets an absolute crazy beam on one of the opposing teams here at Greasy Grove. They're gonna try and take this fight. They have a lot of making up to do, because they are not on the best place on the leaderboard. So I think they are looking to definitely take this fight, then maybe rotate and get these Spider-Mans outside of Greasy. So we'll see how they take the approach to this fight. They do not have the most materials, but I think they want to cut off the distance they have here, and maybe even get closer. But that maybe does not look like the play. Altus is going back towards one of the houses behind, and Stixx is just staying. I think he's going to try and hit them with a flank, which could be very crucial. Maybe get a beam on, maybe even a knock. So we'll see what Stixx and Altus can do here at a Greasy. They actually did spot Altus trying to flank. They are going to try and double. They are going to try and double Stixx. Altus gets beamed a little bit. He only has 3 minis left. They are doubling Mick, which is not too sharp for him. He's going to try and he's going to have to disengage. Altus doing the most, tagging the player 38 wide, but he gets absolutely sloshed by that MK of the opposing team. He needs to heal up and get to his teammate as soon as he can. Otherwise, Stixx and Altus are going to have problems. And as we say that, Stixx does get eliminated, and Altus has one job now, and that is to disengage. Altus needs to do the most for him and his teammate. He needs to get out of here. If the other team do W key him, this is going to be over for Altus. Let's see if he can get away, though. That is very, very, very unfortunate for them. In my personal opinion, I think they rather, especially because it's going into your last game, you don't have any other games to redeem yourself. They shouldn't have taken that fight, even though they are further down on the leaderboard. I think they should have played it a bit more passive, but that is how you learn, trial and error. Try this thing one day, try that thing the other, and that is how you get better and, more experience by making those mistakes. And we are jumping underway with Putash and Mateen, I think that are around 6th or 7th place. They're landing one of these split drops outside of Cody, if I'm correct. And their loot is looking amazing. A lot of splashes, a lot of heals, no rotation as of right now that I can see. But as we look at it and we point it out every time, is if someone has a purple or gold, SMG or maybe even an MK. They play such a big part if you know how to use them, of course. And you can have the best loot, but if you don't know how to use it, that can cause you some problems. One reminder for everyone watching the stream right now, if you guys have not left a like yet, please make sure to do so. Let's see if the stream can hit 100 likes. Let's see if we can push it, guys. If you guys want to check out the Punishers, their socials, anything, it will be in the description down below. Or go check out the website. Everything is in the stream description. Don't forget to go check it out. And don't forget to subscribe, of course, so you guys can get notified when Punisher streams, tournaments, or events like this. Tomorrow, there's going to be another cast with the semi-final number 2. And then on Sunday is the real thing you guys won't want to miss. And that is this KO2022 Punishers Duo Cup Finals. You guys do not want to miss Sunday's live stream and cast. It is going to be an absolute banger. So don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Been subbed for long, baby. That's what we love to hear. Yoda, that is what we love to hear. But we're moving over, as I only saw now, we recently switched perspectives. We are looking at Reefsy and Crispy, my favorites, my current favorites for this game. And looky here what loot we have from Reefsy and Crispy. Reefsy with that wonderful golden SMG. As I pointed it out, if this is one player that I know how to use how to use an SMG, this is definitely one of the players. Reefsy has not been carrying a shotgun any game so far in this tournament, so I know he does know how to play with this Stinger SMG, and he's going to make the most out of it. I know that for sure. And Crispy, of course, being Reefsy's carry and all, but Reefsy has still played immensely today, and them as a duo, they have so much potential, and I think they are definitely one of the favorites to even win the finals on Sunday. So we're gonna have to wait and see. Reefsy is actually gonna drop his splashes and finally taking Spider-Man for the first game. They actually didn't have Spider-Man's any of the other games, so this is going to be a quite a game changer, if I'm being honest, to see how they're going to use this within their rotations and how they're going to change things up. And we will be showing the leaderboard at the end of the game. You guys do not have to worry about that. I think we're going to see the first encounter or second encounter, because Reefsy and them do have a kill. You're going to see he jumps in. He ends up getting eliminated. Reefsy not getting himself into a very good position, but it's time for Crispy to clutch. That is not sharp from Reefsy and Crispy. And we have Potash and Mateen also around the Daily Bugle. Close to where that fight just happened. I think this was them actually. I think they just eliminated Reefsy. So I think Crispy is gonna have to play this game out as a solo for the time being. Maybe come back later and get his reboot card. But that is very unfortunate. They were my favorites for this game, so they let me down a little bit. But I think they still have a comeback time, so we shall see. What a wonderful performance from Mateen and Potash. That is going to set them up for this game. They could still potentially get a top 3 this game, or if they have a really good game. So because Reefs and them are in first, that means if Crispy does end up not clutching this, they could lose their first place spot and then drop down, and that is not what we want to see. So hopefully Crispy can do the most and play this game out as a solo until he can get his card and hopefully get him back up. We are looking at the previous replays from one of the players' screen shares, but we will get back to one of our perspectives as soon as we can. And I think this is one of our last perspectives left, if I'm correct. Labs and them also being eliminated. Altus and them also being eliminated. So this is our last perspective. So we need to really hope it is between Mateen, Potash, and then Crispy that is a solo. This is the last perspectives we have left. So this game has definitely taken a turn that no one thought it would take. But as we said, this is how the tournaments, end up being. It can switch up just like that. I don't think Mateen and Potash are gonna be rotating out of here soon. They have a lot of extra loot, extra materials, and they did all center of the next zone. How lucky can you be? They both have a ridiculous amount of heals. They took that golden Stinger SMG off of Reefsy as well, so they do have that, and they have a Spider-Man with still 70 uses left. It is absolutely ridiculous. So I think I might have to turn my favorites for this game on who's winning. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But it is definitely starting to look like a Mateen and Potash W, if I have to be honest. We'll see soon enough, though. They are trying to look at one of the players that started dropping down. Potash is playing a bit aggressive. It cannot be Crispy because this is a duo that they are going up against. Close to Reefsy though, yeah. Getting sprayed by some players from above by the Bugle, but they are just going to be chilling in this area. Maybe try and get a 3-2-1 on one of the players in their area. getting a little bit of a beam on one of the players. Another 40 tag. They need to maybe calm down now. They're a bit too, looks like they're a bit over eager. And this lobby is dying out really quick. This looks like it's gonna be it's gonna be a quick one. Gets absolutely fried, and Potash does get the elimination. What a 3-2-1 beam from Potash and the team. They're gonna keep on W King. This game looks like it's gonna be theirs. They're playing very, very confident, and they are doing extraordinary. We're just switching perspectives right now. Just give us 2 seconds. I'm not sure if that is correct. Of the game 1 winner, if you guys are only tuning in now, was Spooky and CK. Game 2 winner was Sterry and Wilkie. Game 3 winner was Reefsy and Crispy, and then game 4 winner was Gloves and Ace. If you guys missed it. They did pull another zone. Potash and the team are just, their RNG in this final game is just immense, and they could not have asked for a better one. They are doing a full match split because they want to make sure they are both chilling, and they both do still have a ridiculous amount of mats. So we'll see if they can take this W. I think they are hearing some players around in the area because they might try and get a pick on. They do only have 1 to 2 eliminations. I think they do have 2 eliminations. The one that they picked up on Reefsy. They are playing very aggressive, tagging the other player around 60. They are getting sprayed from players that are coming from the other side of the bugle. The player does hit the pad. I don't know if they are going to chase him. It doesn't look like it. In quals, okay, thank you, Izzy. We still have a while to go for this last game. Only 23 players remaining. This is not a stack game at all. It is a matter of who is going to get the most kills in this last game, because majority of the top 3, I think, unless Adrian and Venom are still alive, Adrian and Venom can potentially, if they are still alive, they could win this one. So we're gonna have to see if they aren't dead yet, of course. They are trying to spray some opposing players. They have a ridiculous amount of ammo, so they can spray as much as they want to. We'll see where the next zone pulls, if they have some more RNG. I think they might have a look to try and spray out height that is on the bugle side. It doesn't pull them. I think they should rotate early and get there as soon as they can. And maybe they can take height from within the next, the next zone. They are going to Spider-Man, do the most, get that rotation clear and done. And they're actually not going to crank. I would think they would get here as quick as they can, maybe take high ground, but maybe they do not like playing height. We're seeing a lot of spraying right now from all of the teams, all over.
final game. People want to get these last bit of points and suck everything up. We're going to see who is going to take the semi-final one. Absolute crazy aim from a team, getting a couple of dinks on the players on their layer. There's only 19 players left in the final game, and we're going to see who is going to take this one. A lot of players gliding, rotating, getting into zone, and we'll see who's going to be fortunate enough to pull the next one. They are getting sprayed by some of the teams and they did not pull zone, but I think they do have a lot of mobility. We are switching over to one of our other perspectives, and it is Adrian and Venom. We've been speaking about them the whole tournament. Their consistency, it has been amazing. And if they can win this game, they are most definitely winning the tournament. Unless Crispy is still alive as a solo, which I'm not sure of, but if they do end up winning this game, they have a chance to win the semi-final one. So let's see if they can pull it through. They are going to hit us with the young launch pad and the short pad. They weren't hyped in the previous zone. They are going to go to a lower layer now. They have a good amount of mats, and I've just been informed that Crispy is dead. So if Venom and Adrian win this game, they will be winning today's tournament. And we'll see some underrated players doing the most and maybe pulling through with the victory royale as well, maybe earning some cash. We're seeing some wonderful tops from Adrian, but they are getting sprayed by the height team. He's going to try and spray them out with a ranger. He does get absolutely beamed. He needs to try and heal up as quickly as he can. He does have chilies, and he does have a lot of heals, so they must just take this very slow. They do not have the most mats. They did just do a split. They maybe need to start looking for a refresh. And he does hop in his box, and they do get a refresh. It's like I make up what is happening at the moment. Adrian and Venom doing the absolute most. And they might be able to win this game. They are going to go for height right now. Adrian and Venom getting focused by height. I'm not sure who the height players are. It might be Putash and Mateen. I think it is. They do regroup. They do still have a decent amount of mats. They see a player. They did full box him. And they did end up getting the elimination. Very, very, very well played by Venom and Adrian. They are stuck in zone. They did get out successfully. Will they take game number 5 is what is on everybody's minds right now. It's going and dropping down back into Daddy, and he's in his box. They're going to drop down. They're going to try and attempt. They're in the final zone. There's 4 players left. It is a 2v2v2 situation, if I'm correct. We have Adrian and Venom doing the absolute most. They still have their chilies. They can use this maybe to rotate up if they wanted to. He does get kicked out of zone. He needs to try and get back in as soon as he can. This looks very, very, very confusing, if I have to be honest. There's still 3 different teams left. But there's no shooting. Adrian and Venom dropping down on a single player. And they do end up getting the elimination. So it is another solo and maybe even potentially 2 solos or 1 duo. Venom and Adrian are showing so much potential right now and playing at the top of the game. It is a 2v1 situation. They need to try and build up. He drops down, hits it for 140, and it is Venom and Adrian who take Game 5 of the KO2022 Punishers Duo Cup Semi-Final 1. What an astonishing game from the boys, playing absolutely superbly and blowing us away. And I think they actually did do the most with securing the W. We're gonna see in the next couple of minutes, and then we will look at the leaderboard. But
very, very, very well played to everyone within the tournament. And it was an absolute pleasure to be casting. And sorry once again if you guys are wondering, Manja's still thinking very hard of what he wants to say. So just let him be, please and thank you. But we will be looking at the leaderboard really soon. And all I have to say is very, very, very well played to Adrian and to Venom. I think they did enough to they did do enough to secure the W, and also getting some money and a cash prize in by winning that last game. And I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone that has supported the stream today, that came to watch the cast with me and Mandra. This was my first time in a long time casting, so it was a bit rusty, but definitely looking at it in the future again. And as I called it, Venom and then did do the most by securing that victory royale and taking the win of the semi-final one Punishers Duo Cup. What an absolute saucer of a team, if I have to be honest. And one thing that we mentioned throughout the tournament is consistency, and we can see their consistency. They didn't have a game under 42 points. They were doing the most in the last and final game. Reefsy and them getting eliminated quite early. Martina and them also dying early after they eliminated Reefsy. So that just set them up for the win. And then second place, we have the Punishers. Reefsy and Crispy. Then we have Moog and Nosh in third place. We have Mateen and Putash in fourth place. Then we have Coach by Lessix, Infernal and Fate in fifth. We have Sterry and Wilkie that didn't play last game in sixth place. And then we have Gloves and Ace in seventh. Then we have Rejects and Travis in eighth place as well. And then we have Venomous Tiger in ninth. And then Spooky and CK that I think also didn't play last game in 10th position. So what an outstanding performance from everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. It means the absolute world. Shout out once again to the Punishers. This is all sponsored by Punishers. You guys need to give them a huge thanks. This is the first big tournament of the year, and without you guys, this also would have been possible. So thank you everyone for participating, and make sure to be ready for tomorrow's semi-finals and then the massive day for finals, which is Sunday. So please make sure not to miss the Sunday cast. It is going to be an absolute banger. Once again, please make sure to go check out all the Punishers socials. It is in the description. It is linked there. So make sure to go check it out. And don't forget to leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. We shall see you guys in the next one. Huge shout out to Mandra for co-casting with me. As you guys can see, he's been saying so much as of recently. So much love to everyone that supported today, and we will see you guys tomorrow in the semi-finals number 2. Cheers and goodbye.